it's very easy for us to become entangled in spirituality and with spiritual concepts. So, Abraham-Hicks, for example, they've got. I really like the. So I'm not sure if everyone's aware of Abraham-Hicks. Abraham-Hicks, is a channel. You can think of it as a channeled teacher or channeled entity, channeled energy, or they call themselves Abraham. They're a group. They call themselves a collective. I think collective intelligence, and they present a certain view of reality that we are. And I can't remember it fully. It's been a while since I read these things. But we are source energy and we're expanding, and how our desires create and manifest our reality. And essentially, it's the law of attraction teaching. And I really like the teaching, and it fits in with the Vedic teachings, actually. The Vedic teachings say the same, but they go further. The Vedic teachings go further in terms of their verbal teachings. They go to liberation, whereas what Abraham is sharing maybe isn't so directed in an obvious way at liberation. Essentially, Karen, what we're talking about in terms of liberation, we can discover by ourselves. We don't need to read lots and lots of books. We don't need to study. And we don't need spiritual concepts that much, really. We can keep it really simple. This is the one of the things Ramana did. He stripped what can be a highly convoluted and complex teaching into just its bare essentials and made it very simple for us. But what can happen is we get caught up in spiritual concepts. I'll give you an example. With the law of attraction, the idea is one interpretation of it is what you desire will manifest as reality, or what you think will manifest as reality. So if you think something negative, then you're going to manifest something negative. And this can put you in a real quandary. This can put you in a real difficult situation. Because then whenever you have a negative thought about something, you think, oh no, that's really bad. I shouldn't have that negative thought. And then you try and get rid of that negative thought. But then when they come, you can start to blame yourself. And then you can blame yourself for negative situations you find yourself in, things like this. And in their book, The Astonishing Power of Emotions, the Abraham-Hicks books, they explain how it doesn't actually work quite like that. And that's what I wanted you to read. I wanted you to see how actually it's not just the thoughts you're having that manifest the reality in the law of attraction. It's your energy level and how you emotionally are relating to what's happening as well. And that book, I thought, talks you through it in a quite a nice stepwise way. Because the danger with the law of attraction teachings, there's several dangers. But one of them is that if you interpret it as whatever I think is going to manifest, then you try and control your thoughts. Okay? That can have negative implications because you end up suppressing your feelings, your thoughts and your feelings. For example, you might actually feel quite negative towards somebody, but then you don't allow yourself to feel that negativity, and you convince yourself you love them or you really like them and you're happy to be around them, and you end up suppressing maybe anger, or fear, or hurt, or pain, and this is not healthy. And what the astonishing power of emotions, in my recollection of it at least, that book will tell you if you're suppressing your emotions, that's negative. That's what's going to create a negative thing in the future. Whereas if you allow the negativity to come out and not suppress, that's actually more healthy. And that's actually going to bring you towards peace over time. And that's going to allow you to manifest good things. So the person who's forced themselves not to feel angry at somebody they don't like, for example, and they force themselves to think good thoughts, they're actually in a very negative place energetically. They might think they're doing a beautiful job with the law of attraction because they're thinking all these wonderful, loving thoughts, but it's fake. It's not real. Energetically, they're in a very claustrophobic, constricted, contracted place. And that energetic feeling is what manifests. This is what the astonishing power of emotion says. Another thing you mentioned, you said, oh, I have all these desires, but then you said desires are all bullshit or something like that. And then you said, we shouldn't have any desires, if we're approaching Ramana's teachings, things like this. Again, these spiritual concepts of no desire, there's truth there, but they can also suppress our own emotions and become a trap for us. The idea of the spiritual teachings isn't necessarily to create a new prison. Well, it isn't to create a new prison where we have to conform and be spiritual in a certain way. That's not being real. That's not healthy. That's not going to help. So one way through this, and I don't know if you'll be able to do this, to be frank. One way is to forget all these spiritual teachings. Forget all these spiritual concepts, law of attraction, Ramana's teachings, all this kind of stuff. And get out your A4 journal, that you can write in, and say, okay, I'm going to forget everything anyone's told me. I'm going to write stuff down and figure out what's going on with me. And start writing. And start trying to figure out. And then when you see the spiritual concepts coming, oh, I should be like this, I should be like that. That word should, which is a prison sometimes, especially in spirituality. It's not always a prison, but it can be. I should be like this, I should be like that. And when the law of attraction concepts come in, oh no, I shouldn't be thinking like this because I'm going to manifest myself into a really bad place. Just forget all that stuff. Just start again. Just throw all those concepts away. And just start from first principles. When I was seeking, especially when I was younger, I did this many times. I built up my spiritual concepts. I built up my spiritual understanding. Started feeling like I was progressing. Started becoming really happy with my progress. Feeling like I'm on the cusp of liberation. And then frustration, something happened. I don't know. Maybe nothing overtly happened, but inwardly something happened. I just felt like this is not working. I'm not getting anywhere. I don't know what's going on. I'm confused. I have no clue what's going on. And I used to just scrap it all inwardly in my mind. I used to just throw it all away. All the teachings, all the teaching concepts. And say, okay, what's going on? And then I'll write down, I'm unhappy. I'm feeling really unhappy. I'm feeling frustrated. I don't know what to do. And then it's why? Why are you feeling this way? Then I'd inquire. So I'd write down I'll vent. And then I'll write why. Why am I feeling happy? And then I'll try and inquire. Oh, it's because I'm thinking this way. I'm feeling, why am I thinking this way? Why am I feeling this way? And I always found those moments so clarifying, so helpful. So my recommendation in brief is to forget all the spiritual concepts and then start from scratch and just look at what's happening with you in a non-spiritual way, just in a very real, honest way. What's happening with me? What's going on? See how far you get. I'll give you a few clues when you do your inquiry, your written inquiry, on your A4 journal. When you do your writing inquiry, your written inquiry, your written exploration, your written investigation, you throw everything you've heard. You forget all the spiritual concepts. You see what's going on for yourself. What you'll tend to find out, you'll find out all this stuff you're thinking about, all this stuff you're feeling. And essentially, at some point, because you're suffering, there'll be suffering. There'll be a point where you say, I'm suffering. What is that suffering? That suffering is hurt. I like that word hurt. It's a very simple word. Suffering, 3 syllables. Hurt, 1 syllable. Hurt is a word that it's like a childish word, but it connects with us. It's a more heartfelt word. So a child will often say, I'm hurt. They won't necessarily say, I'm suffering, which is a little bit more technical, isn't it? Hurt is rawer. It's more raw. It's more direct. I feel hurt. And then that's what it comes down to. That's what suffering is. Suffering is pain. Pain is hurt. This is what the Buddhist word dukkha means. Dukkha literally means hurt. And if you, in many Indian languages, especially I think North Indian languages, in the same way a child would say, I'm hurt in English, in many North Indian languages, children will say dukkha, or a word related to dukkha, or hurt. I remember last time I was in India, some years ago, some of my little cousins, one of them hurt themselves. They used that word to describe how they'd hurt themselves. Dukkha literally means hurt, pain. Why do you feel pain? Why are you hurting? It's because you want something that you don't have. That's what it comes down to. You want something you don't have. Or you have something you don't want, which is the same thing. Say you have something you don't want. What you want is not to have it. And you don't not have it. So to want something you don't have is the same as having something you don't want, in that sense. So you'll find, you do your inquiry, you realize I'm hurting. Why am I hurting? Because I'm not getting what I want. I want something, I don't have it. Okay? That's what it comes down to. When you look at all your thoughts, 99% of them, I found, this is me anyway, almost, let's say 100%, I mean, maybe 99.999%. Let's say 100% of your thoughts, or almost all your thoughts, are related to trying to get something. And that's painful. That's dukkha. That's suffering. Because implicit in that is you don't have what you're looking for. That's when you do your inquiry, when you go far enough on it, you'll come down to, I feel hurt. Why? Because I want something that I don't have. At least I think I don't have it. Why do I want something? Let's say why. So then, once we realize that, I'm hurt. Why? Because I want something I don't have. Next question, why do I want that? Answer, because I think it will make me happy. Or I think it will remove my pain, which again is the negative way of saying, I think it'll make me happy. That's the positive way of saying it, or the affirmative way. I think it'll make me happy, or I think it will take away my pain. It'll make me feel better. So you're depending on an object, a gross or a subtle object, for your happiness. Means you've denied yourself your true nature. Means you're not connecting with who you are, which is true happiness. But we don't have to go there yet in our inquiry. I'm jumping ahead. So far you've got, I'm hurt. Why? Because I want something I don't have. Why? Because I think I need such and such to make me happy. Or I need to remove such and such to make me happy. Why? Let's ask why again. Why do I think getting such and such will make me happy? Why? Why do I think removing something I don't want will make me happy? Why do I think getting something I do want will make me happy? Now, this is a bit of a jump, but this is the answer. The answer is because I think I'm a human being. I think I'm a body-mind entity. Because I think I'm a limited, body-mind entity that is subject to birth, suffering, old age, death, and all the other problems that life can bring. Excuse me. I think I'm a human being. I think I'm a body-mind entity. I think I'm a person. That's why I desire something else. That's why I desire not to have something that's here that I don't want. Next question. So I'll go through a list again. You write down all the shit that's going on in your mind. You get to the point you realize I'm hurting, I'm suffering. Why? Because I want something that I don't have, or I have something I don't want. Why? Why do I want that? Why do I want something? Because I think something, an object, or experience, or knowledge, which are all objects, is going to make me happy. Why do I think an object's going to make me happy? Because I think I'm a human being. I think I'm a limited body-mind entity. Next question. Am I a limited body-mind entity? We can put it differently. That last question, we can phrase it differently. We can say, what am I? Who am I? Now, we don't want the answer to come back necessarily. I am the self. I am pure awareness. I am pure consciousness. You don't necessarily want that answer to spring up in your head. I am the unchanging, unborn, formless reality that pervades everything. You don't want that robotic answer necessary to be the answer straight away. This is, you're exploring. You don't want to get caught up in new spiritual concepts. If you answer robotically, you're just answering out of your mind, using your conceptual spiritual knowledge, we're throwing that away. Remember at the beginning, we threw away our spiritual concepts. We're now inquiring. We're actually looking. We want to know. I'm fed up of spiritual concepts. I'm fed up. I'm confused. I'm suffering. I'm not getting anywhere with spiritual concepts. I'm fed up with spiritual concepts. I'm throwing all those spiritual concepts, law of attraction, Vedanta, spirituality, non-duality, what Tom says, what someone else said. We're throwing it all out. I want to know now. I'm sick and tired of all these teachers and teachings and concepts. What are they going to get me? This is what happened to the Buddha, by the way. He went searching for liberation. And he found all these different teachers and teachings, and he got fed up with them all. They didn't work for him. And then he said, I'm going to find out myself. So, am I a human being? Stop. Look. Feel. Do I need these objects? Do I need these things to make me happy? This book says I need to become desireless. That book says I need to think happy thoughts. This book says I need to turn within. That book says I need to meditate. This teacher says I need to do Tai Chi. That teacher says I need to do yoga. Let's throw all that stuff away. Do I need any of this stuff? If I'm a human being, maybe I do need these things. But am I a human being? Now we can allow a bit of spiritual knowledge to creep in, if you want. So we can say, am I a human being? Or Now we can bring in that robotic voice. But maybe not so robotic. Or am I what the scriptures say? I don't know. The scriptures say I am that formless, blemishless, perfect reality that is ever whole and complete. Needs nothing. Is that true? Could that be true? Is that what I am? Am I spirit? Am I divine spirit? Is that my nature? If I'm divine spirit, then I can think negative thoughts. Fuck it. I can think negative thoughts. Who gives a fuck? I'm the divine spirit. You know? I can have a bad day. I can desire a bit of chocolate if I want sometimes. You know? Fuck it. You know? You can inquire. You can allow yourself to inquire and investigate. This is what I did. I didn't do it just once. I did it many, many times. As I kept on getting tangled up in concepts. You are not the body-mind, Karen. Before the body-mind came along, you were there, the formless reality. Your body-mind is here for a very short amount of time. And then then the body-mind's going to die. And then you'll be the formless reality after the body-mind's gone. Before the body-mind came, you were the formless, perfect, blissful reality. And then the body-mind comes, does a little dance. Some of the dancing's quite good, some of it's terrible, and then it dies. And then you're the formless reality again. And now you are also the formless reality. You need nothing. And to believe the mind that says, I need this, I need that, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that, is a denial. And I'm not blaming anybody here. I'm just saying that's a denial of your true nature. You're demeaning yourself, you're demoting yourself. It's not your fault. No one's blaming you for that. It's innocent. It's inevitable. This is what happens. This is ignorance. So, do not accept these demeaning thoughts that come into your mind. If somebody puts you down, don't accept their view of you. You know? If someone's putting you down, you know what they're saying is not true, don't accept it. If someone says, look, you're a pathetic excuse for a human being. You disgust me. You don't even deserve to be here. You don't even deserve to be in the same room as me. This is abusive language. You can listen to it if you want, but don't believe it. Don't accept this kind of rhetoric. Don't start believing these stories. It's in the same way the mind will start spinning all these lies and deceptions towards you. You don't need to believe them. You're the whole spotless, blemishless reality. You have no form. There are no forms. There have never been any forms. Everything is the formless. That which appears before us is also the formless reality.